Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today. Today is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk, the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, we love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Urban Crow Oracle. I ended up waiting a half an hour to get a car wash. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. That was a waste of time. We got 2 on the table. I really lost track of time today. I really, yeah. Because of that. I should have never went over there. I should have never got the car wash. Don't get me wrong, my car looks fabulous, but you know. We got 2 on the table. 3 on the table. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. 4 on the table. We got 5 with bottom of the deck. We've got gifts, growth, resistance, curiosity, battle. Bottom of the deck, feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Somebody's going to be coming into some gifts, and I don't think this is money. I think this is spiritual gifts. I really don't think it is. I mean, take how it resonates. Like if you know, like your Aunt Clara gives you $100 every year on your birthday and it's almost your birthday, okay, then you're probably getting a gift, right? But to me, this is more spiritual. This is like psychic abilities, clairvoyancy, stuff like that. I think whoever this is, right? You, someone else, they already have these types of gifts, right? Whether you tap into them or not, whether you acknowledge them or not, there's some resistance here. Trust me, I understand the resistance. I went how many years? Sorry, my little nose ring is all twisted. I went so many years like denying the fact that I was psychic, denying the fact that like I could see dead people and hear dead people talking to me, and I could see demons and ghosts and all kinds of stuff, like, and I just pretended like, oh, that didn't happen, like, oh, I must have lost my mind. I must have been crazy. But when it happens more and more and more, like you get to the point where you're just like, yeah, I don't think so. Like there's something going on there. And the thing is everybody's gifts are different, right? Like I don't experience supernatural things every day. I just don't. Some people might. Some people might experience it all day long. And I don't know how to explain it other than like I've told you guys before that where I work is haunted. Okay, it used to be an old farm that was there when I was a kid, but it was not like it was abandoned when I was a kid. So God knows how long it had been since anybody had ran that farm, been on that farm, owned that farm. It was dormant for years and years and years. And when they finally put a for sale sign on there, it still took years and years and years to sell that land. And I think I told you guys that one time or a couple times we drove past there like at night. And I would tell my parents, like, oh, what's that light out in the field? And they would look over and they wouldn't see anything. And they'd be like, there's no light. And I'm like, no, there's like flashing lights in the field. Almost like if somebody was walking along at night with a flashlight, like they were, to see, you know? Yeah. And I see and hear things in the warehouse. And I have experienced things at the Volo Antique Museum where I felt things. Not really seen things, but felt things like waves of anger, emotion, happiness, sadness, stuff like that. Because it's all objects in there. So whatever that object took on, like that's what I'm feeling, And then when I was looking for houses, when I bought my first townhouse in Mundelein when I was 32, my family, me, my realtor agent, the ex-husband who was my boyfriend at the time, we went to check out this house. And I saw things and heard things and felt things in the basement. And I was like, no thanks. And I don't even think it was like I don't even think it was like a bad spirit or anything like that in the basement. It just, it had been so long since I had experienced anything like that at the time. And when we're talking 2012 is when that happened. And my friend texted me. It just freaked me out, like I just wanted to get out of there. It was a cute house. It I wouldn't have bought it anyway. It needed so much work. It was under my budget for sure, but it needed so much freaking work. There's no way. Cute house though. But yeah, like trust me, I know what resistance is. Like I resisted my gifts for a long time. Psychic abilities, like I see things before they happen. Not that often, but I do, you know. I have a lot of premonitions, visions, and the funny thing, not so funny thing, a lot of them are more large scale, I think. So I don't really see them happen. And since the last 3 years, I don't even have cable, so I don't watch news, nothing like that. So if something I dreamed of and I predicted and I put it on my blog or I put it on TikTok or I put it on Instagram or I put it on here, um, I would never even know if it happened unless somebody told me. Like if I predicted like a, really shitty orange crop harvest in Florida for this summer or spring or whatever, and it really happened, unless somebody told me, "Hey Kim, your prediction was right." Like I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention. I feel like it's better that way. For me at any rate. And the funny thing is with the resistance, there's also curiosity there, right? Because even though like I resisted those things when I was younger, when I tried to I told you guys I would put it in the box, put it on the top shelf, turn off the light, close the closet door, and lock the closet door, right? It's in there. It's safekeeping. I don't have to deal with it. Stay in there. Even though I did that, it still was a question for me. Like, where did this gift come from? Why do I have it? Does my mom have it? Does my grandmother have it? Does my dad's side of the family have it? Like how often is this going to happen? Why doesn't it happen more often? Like you still have a curiosity about it. You still have a wonder about it, even if you don't want to use it, even if you want to pretend like it's not there. And you guys know how I feel. If you follow, if you subscribe, I've talked about it before. I feel like everybody has gifts. I feel like everybody has untapped gifts. And I feel like from little kids, we're taught not to use those things. I think every generation is pretty much like that. In most communities, right? I feel like we're just taught not to. Sorry if I'm being gross, but my earring is like twisted in there. I feel like everybody's taught not to acknowledge that kind of stuff. It was funny because I was at work. I think it was in November, maybe October or November. I was at work, and I think we were down or something. The system was down, and we were standing there, and I was talking to my friend. I went over to talk to her because we were on opposite sides of the pick stations, and we're talking, and I saw like a flash of light, like something running, almost like, but it was like light. It was so fast. It was like light, and it was like along the wall, and along the wall is the stairs that go down, stairs that go up to packing, and now there's stairs that go up to the ram pack processing area where the robots pack all the boxes. And I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I turned as my friend was talking to me, and she goes, "What is it?" And I said, "You didn't see the light that flashed by?" I said, "It looked like somebody was like running, but it was a flash of light." And she's just standing there staring at me, and she goes, "Yeah, I saw it." The thing is I think people see stuff like that all the time, but they just think, like it's a flash of light. Like it must be the lights in the ceiling or the sun reflecting off of something, or you know what I mean? And could it be that? Sure. Sure, but you also know what those things look like. You've seen those many times in your life. And this was not that. Unfortunately, someone battles themselves with these gifts. Um, and again, I understand. I understand. I get it. I get it. I completely get it. Because once you recognize that you have whatever gifts you have, you're basically taking on the responsibility of that, because you have to make the decisions of what is just meant for your knowledge, what is meant for public knowledge, what you should be sharing, what you should not be sharing. And just the fact that when you acknowledge that you see these things, feel these things, hear these things, right? That's a great responsibility for someone to take on, right? Because a lot of people, again, don't acknowledge it. A lot of people pretend. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have any abilities." And you're a freak. You're a freak because you have abilities. And I just call bullshit. I call bullshit. Because again, my firm belief is that every single person has something. And why are you making fun of somebody that has no qualms about showing it, expressing it? You're gonna treat somebody like trash because it just doesn't make any sense to me. People are out there doing the most, unfortunately. It's really sad, honestly. It really is just sad, honestly. I was watching not really along the same lines, but similar. A friend of mine at work, he recommended a movie to me, and I rented it last night. Pardon me, off of Amazon, and it's called Coda, and it's about uh, a girl whose parents and older brother, are deaf, but she's not, and it's about her. They have like a family fishery business where the father and the son go out on the boat and they fish. Well, ever since she was a little girl, she goes out on the boat with them and she helps them. Okay, and she speaks, so like she can hear the radio signals, and if Coast Guard is calling, or they're getting a warning about weather, whatever, like she's out there with them, so she can sign back to them and be like, okay, we got to go in, like a tornado's coming, or a typhoon is coming, or whatever. And it was just about the fact that like she's growing up and she wants to break away, and she is a singer, and she wants to go to college, and she wants to sing, and her brother was more supportive, even though he was kind of quiet about it. But her parents were just like, well, what do you mean you want to move away? Like, we need you. This is the family business. Like, you need to be here. And she's like, you can't put that on me. Like, I can't spend the rest of my life here with you translating for you. Like, you need to figure that out. And she's not wrong, right? Like, if she has dreams and desires to do something else, if she doesn't want to stay there, if that's not her calling, then she shouldn't have to stay there, And the parents looked at it a different way because, they need a translator, they need help. It was just a very called Coda. It was just a very heartwarming story. It was really good. It made me cry at the end, for sure. But she was bullied by kids growing up and people in town, and actually her parents and her brother were bullied too, because they were deaf and they couldn't talk, and then she was always trying to translate for them, and they were always bullied, you know, and her probably the most because they knew, like, she understood, she spoke, she could hear, she could talk, so she kind of got the brunt of it. She always had to try and protect them. Yeah. It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. Pardon me. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not feeling or seeing anything else, but I like this. This was a little different today. This was different. I like it. I like different. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if anything you were entertained. I hope it resonated for somebody out there. Um I hope everybody has a lovely Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.